I'm not gonna lie, I might need a change of pants after that trailer. This is Hell Let Loose, an upcoming platoon-based realistic multiplayer first-person shooter for PC set in the Second World War. Or, well, at least it's a trailer for it. This video is going to be a general overlook of the project. If you want to follow along, there's a link in the description which leads to the official website where you can find all of the detailed information. Hell Let Loose will feature 50 versus 50 player combats, 400 players total per battle. The maps are rather large, 4 km square sized map in Normandy in 1944, which results in it taking about 15 minutes to cross the map on foot. There's going to be infantry and play-controlled tanks on the same map. The goal of the game is going to be all about capturing sectors and resources, as well as establishing and defending supply lines and building defenses. Now, as is absolutely no secret, I am quite interested in World War II stuff, and especially in World War II vehicles. This game is going to feature quite an array of vehicle types, let's just say that. You can control supply trucks, transport trucks, you can control light, medium and heavy tanks, there's going to be mobile artillery, there's going to be tank destroyers, there's going to be assault guns, half tracks, scouts, and even repair and armored recovery vehicles. There are going to be different tiers of control over the battle. For example, there are going to be commanders which decide the strategy, deploy the forces and manage the reinforcements and supplies, as well as being able to call in aerial and naval strikes. These are essentially going to be the guys that really determine the outcome of the battle overall. There's going to be an operational level. For example, you can take control of supply trucks yourself and transport troops to the fronts, or even take control of an armored recovery vehicle and try and support the tanks on your team, recover them if they are knocked out, or even resupply them. You can of course play the tactical game, playing as an officer, establishing observation posts and marking targets for the commander. As I've mentioned before, the map is divided into sectors. By capturing a sector, you're going to generate resources which can be used in the war effort of your own team. This results in gameplay mechanics like these, for example. Is that Tiger tank going to be effective enough to be worth spending fuel on? These are the kind of things you have to keep in mind when you are playing this game. As for the weapons, the weapon mechanics are going to be pretty damn hardcore. There's no crosshair, there's going to be jamming and overheating of the gun barrel, and there's going to be brutal suppression. Tank rounds, artillery, and all the types of explosives will cause pretty gory dismemberment. As you can guess, taking an 88mm shell to the face is generally going to result with you losing said face. No, but the best part is, there's going to be flamethrowers. Let's just say the gameplay is not going to be for the faint of heart. Now, the game is scheduled to be at first released on Normandy in 1944, and as such will face a battle between German and US soldiers. Later on, there will be other theaters of war, which will feature British, Ostheer Wehrmacht, Soviet and Imperial Japanese soldiers. The overall realism and balance of the game is set to be between Red Orchestra 2, Project Reality and Company of Heroes. Directly quoting the developer here, we prefer intense, terrifying and intelligent, instead of long, tedious and boring. There are going to be some limited destructible elements, but don't expect the whole map to be destructible. You have to keep in mind there's going to be 100 players on the same map. If you make the entire map completely destructible, there's going to be performance penalties. Now, what about the infantry? Apart from the pretty hardcore gunplay, there's also going to be a pretty hardcore health system. If you get shot in an arm or a leg, you can actually heal those wounds by yourself. If you get shot in a vital organ, however, you will require medical help, as such medics will play a big role in this game. Now, of course, if you get hit by an explosive anti-tank shell or by a grenade, no medic is going to be able to gather all of your dismembered legs and with limbs flying all over the place. How do the vehicles play? There are going to be historical accurate gun sights and magnification, something that all you Warfunder tankers should be very, very happy about. The ammunition is not infinite, but if you take damage or you just run out of ammo, you can always return back to base to repair and rearm. If you get immobilized on the field, you can call in field recovery vehicles, armored recovery vehicles, to retrieve you and pull you back to base, or if you just run out of ammo, they can also supply you in the field. As for the balance between vehicles, it is set to be rather realistic. Tanks will face other tanks of the appropriate era, as well as historically accurate ammunition loads, and as such will have gameplay balance in terms of, for example, Tigers being able to take out Shermans from a kilometer away, whereas the Shermans will have to coordinate and close in from the flanks or behind in order to take down that single Tiger. But to compensate, of course, there are going to be much more Shermans than there are going to be Tigers, simply because the Shermans cost much less resources to actually deploy. Something that might rejoice some of you people is that the tanks are going to be multi-crew. You are going to need at least 2 people to operate the tank, so you're going to need a driver and a gunner, but there are optional commander and passenger seats in case you need an additional commander or someone, or need to carry some troops to the front line. There's going to be an engineer class which can build the defenses like barbed wire, tank traps, machine gun nests and minefields. However, the engineer cannot simply carry all of the stuff on his back, so he will require supplies to be delivered to the front line constantly. The players will be split into platoons of 6 people, which can deploy from player deploying spawn points to simulate a bigger platoon actually being on the battlefield. And of course, save some time in having to walk all over the place. But how much will it cost? Well, there is no official price just yet. But one thing I can tell you, this is not going to be a free-to-play game. The game is going to require a one-time payment to access all of the initial features and gameplay mechanics and, well, the game by itself, but there is going to be DLC with additional campaigns down the road. So far, absolutely no word on microtransactions, but again, this is quite early into the development stage, so do not hold your breath if they do actually come. This all sounds great, Mike, but when is this game actually going to be playable? Well, it is set to be released on Steam early 2018, so it is still at least half a year away. That being said, you can sign up on the official website and maybe get your chances at some beta testing. Now, as for my personal input on this whole thing, as said, it's absolutely no secret that I'm big into World War II. In fact, my entire channel is pretty much all about World War II. But I've always kind of felt a lack of good, realistic games that also had decent graphics. I mean, I like my Day of Infamy, for example, but the graphics are a bit too outdated for my own liking. This game is being developed on the Unreal Engine 4. And as you saw by the trailer, the graphics look rather nice. Now, of course, this game is going to be anything but an arcade game. And many people like that. I, for myself, am quite hyped at the prospect of realistic tanks and realistic gunplay. On the other hand, it's also going to make the game rather difficult. Let's just say this isn't going to be something you simply pick up casually. It's going to be something you have to invest your time in. There are many people out there that will like that and absolutely love that. I mean, judging by the comment section of my videos, I always see people complaining about the realism of Warfare, for example. But it might also be something that scares many people away. But overall, the only thing I can say so far is that this game looks rather promising. Anyways, lads, let me know your own opinions in the comment section down below. Again, I'll leave the link to the official page in the description of this video so you can form your own opinion. And I'll be seeing you next time. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. My name has been MikeGoesBoom, and thank you for watching.
You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find